Okay, well hello there. I realize this setup is a little different from the typical one that you have seen me do in my little studio at home. We're still pretty informal today, pretty cash, even though we're on this big impressive stage. We are at Spring Lake, Michigan at 7 Steps Up, which is this beautiful historic building and venue. It's a listening room and the acoustics are so good that I set up my laptop here in the room, and Michelle here at 7 Steps Up kindly turned back on all the equipment, all the sound gear from last night where we played our show here, right on the stage last night.
Yes.
So we figured it sounded so good we would record from here today for this special webcast that we're doing, this Patron Appreciation webcast that I do every month. My guest this month is the beautiful and talented and fabulous Miss Rachael Kilgour up here on the right. She has very cool earrings. I wish you could see them from there. But anyway, yeah, it's so great to be here and get to bring a little bit of our Midwest Coast tour magic to you in your living rooms. Today we're doing something a little different. We're donating to an organization called womenforafghanwomen.org. You know, the world is very crazy and tumultuous, and we wanted to do a little something to make it just a little bit better. And this is an organization that is in Afghanistan that is working hard to get their people out and take care of women and children in that country in the midst of everything that is going on there. So please be generous. You can make a donation at paypal.me/womenforafghanwomen. And Michelle has kindly put that on the monitor behind us. Also, at the bottom of the screen, I have my normal tip jar scrolly thing, which has Venmo and PayPal links. And if you send me any money tonight, instead of going to Rachael and me, because Rachael has kindly offered up her portion of this webcast tip money as well, all of the tips are going to go straight to Women for Afghan Women tonight. So thank you so much for being generous on that. And Rachael, you want to take it away?
Sure. Yes, on tour we've decided to try this 3-song back and forth little mini set, so we'll keep that up here. I've been dreaming about a garden. I wanna be the kind of girl who doesn't kill the garden. I wanna pay the bills and stand and kill the garden. And I wanna be successful in my love and my art. Wanna finish what I start. Successful, not the status, the wealth, but my passion, my health. Successful, heart of our nations, pride to never be satisfied. Why would you settle? Why would you crawl if you could have it all? I need a vacation from chasing my dreams. Don't we all need a vacation? I wanna write a good song, have long talks with my mom, with patience. Heart of our nations, pride to never be satisfied, bigger and better and never enough. We want time with our families, the families would screwed us up. Yes, just like all the webcasts, except for when I play a webcast. I've never actually played a webcast with another human being. When I do it alone, it's just silent, and that's the way it is. I'm not going to clap for myself.
It's kind of nice. Yeah, that's why I have liked doing the StreamYard webcast for my patrons every month because like it's normally just like virtual. Like I'll be in Texas and you'll be in Minnesota or wherever.
Right, yeah.
But like just having the two people on the split screen, being able to put them back on so they can clap for me,
Yes.
and then vice versa, it's really been nice.
Yes, it is good. You do get used to it. You kind of start relying on applause. A way to build self-esteem when you're a musician, unfortunately. It's good practice actually not having it sometimes. I'm good enough, even though no one's clapping. Okay, so Grace has heard a lot about this, but I've been working on writing lots of songs about my dad who died in 2017, and so here we are. He had Lewy body dementia at the end of his life, and it was really rough for him and for everyone involved. And I got to thinking a lot about how he had spent so much of his time taking care of us and going to work every day and doing his best to bring home money, and that we were really limited in some ways when it came to his physical care at the end of his life by our financial situation. And I knew that if we just happened to have a lot of extra cash set aside, we could probably get him a really sweet spot at a memory care clinic or wherever it was. But how ridiculous that anywhere in the world, let alone in the United States of America, that we need to make choices like that. My dad worked hard from the time he was young to win the respect of his father and love of his mom, and nobody had high hopes for the scrappy farm kid. But nobody loved a challenge like my old man did. With his hands in his sweat, with a hammer and a cigarette, long hours in the hot sun, he built a foundation, late for dinner every night, a sunburn and an appetite. In the end, he seemed to do alright, with 3 kids and a frugal wife. My dad worked hard, did yours work harder? Is that what his thriving investments prove? I'm not saying that he didn't earn the right to take it easy. I'm just saying that I'm pretty sure my dad did too. He got the job done right, no, you couldn't call him lazy. And he wouldn't overcharge you, not like the big names did. He built a house from the ground up, run the numbers in his head. He'd make enough to feed a family, make it home to tuck me into bed. And he never gave up till his body gave in and his mind grew thin. And you never can tell how time will teach us. She's a great deceiver. Now he's home every night, he's home every day too. He needs help getting out of his chair and can't remember how to tie his shoes. I not supposed to catch him when we can't afford the care he needs, and he worked his whole goddamn life. My dad worked hard, but yours work harder. Is that what a comfortable retirement proves? I'm not saying that he didn't earn the right to take it easy. I'm just saying that I'm pretty sure my dad did too. Applause. Thank you. Oops. I've got a house. I'm from Duluth, Minnesota. I suppose I should tell your audience this. We met in Michigan, which isn't really halfway between anywhere, but I'm from Minnesota. And I have a house in my hometown, a big house with my partner. It's an old Victorian house, and we bought it, and it was a disaster, an absolute disaster. And it was a great time because then we had a global pandemic, so I've just been working on it every single day of my life, playing a few virtual shows here and there, but other than that, I just stayed home and installed windows and refinished hardwood floors and took off siding. It's been a lot of work, but it's been really so wonderful. Because when I was young, I used to work with my dad every summer. Our summer job was going to work with my dad doing construction, and so I've had the chance to use some of those skills that he gave me. I like it. I like to think of the ways that, well, he's very gone from the world. He's still around inside of me. My arms are too long for my body, and my hands, they're too big for my arms. But my dad, part man, part orangutan, hugged me close, and he kept me from harm, so I waste my time wishing that I were proportionate, and my skin, it's too thin for my family. How they laugh at my sensitive ways, whether I'm happy or sad, I cry just like my dad. But I'm proud to let it be named. I may be soft, but I am not ashamed. And isn't it brave to take what you've been given, the parts you kept in, the traits you denied, to find a strength in what looked like a weakness? Take your old family secrets and wear them with pride. So if your cheeks burn red when you're nervous, if your hair curls tight in the heat, know we all came from someplace. You got your great-grandmother's face and walk the earth with your ancestors' shoulders, steady feet. And isn't it brave to take what you've been given, the parts you kept hidden, the traits you denied, to find a strength in what looked like a weakness. Take your old family secrets and wear them with pride.
Everybody's clapping in the internet.
Oh my gosh, everyone's clapping.
Everybody's going nuts.
Now we're gonna swap. Grace's turn.
My turn. Let's see. Oh, yeah. I mean, I was planning on telling them, like, at least in the comments or whenever it goes live or whatever. But yeah, this set is pre-recorded because we are in a working music venue right now. This is the great 7 Steps Up in Spring Lake, Michigan, and they've got a show tonight, like most nights. So we wanted to get this done early in the afternoon, but Michelle Hanks very generously let us borrow her stage. So that's what we are doing, and we're going to give it back in a couple hours, and then we're going to stream this later, this recording. So yeah, hopefully it's sounding good. But this next one is one from my brand new record, Working Woman, and you really owe it to yourself to listen to the recorded version because Ruthie Foster is singing on it, and it's very cool. And I don't make enough money to convince her to go on the road with me, so the song's called Pick Me Up. And I wrote this with my good friend Megan Bird, I should say. I'll dedicate it to whatever it was that got you through however many pandemics we've been through at this point, however many pandemics we've been through. I feel like it's been at least 10 or 12. There's like a different one every couple months. But whatever gets you through, this song is for that. Haven't you seen me? Haven't you heard? Haven't you noticed I'm slurring words, swinging at nothing, shivering cold? Heaven help me, like a lightning bolt. Somehow I have to find it in me. 1, 2, 3. Pick me up, carry me on my way. Pick me up until my dying day. Pick me up, never I fall back down. Pick me back up when I hit the ground. 'Cause you're never fighting pound for pound, but you keep your fists up another round. And I'm gonna take it and ask for more, even down here from the floor. Biding my time, taking my legs. 4, 5, 6. Pick me up, carry me on my way. Pick me up until my dying day. Pick me up, never I hit the ground. I need a applause machine. Well, I wrote this next one in Nash Vegas with my friend Gary Nicholson, and it's pretty cool. I get to say he's my friend because he's a very impressive and important songwriter, but also mainly for me anyway, he's just this guy whose house I go to and listen to who tell amazing stories about the 70s in Nashville, and I mostly just want to do that. Like, I don't really even want to try to take advantage of the situation and write a song because I just want to hear the guy talk about his life, which has been fascinating so far. It continues to be fascinating. And but anyway, I went in one day and I had this idea for a song called "When Nobody's Watching," which is I'm a Catholic kid and very much a Jesus person, but I tend to be drawn to a lot of atheists, and I have a lot of atheist friends, and I was sort of thinking about that, ruminating, wondering why that was, and I think it's that I'm just drawn in general to really courageous people. So, it occurs to me that I have a really good reason to wake up in the morning and try to be a good person, and I have this incentive, and some people don't believe in God or an afterlife, and they decide to wake up every day and be good people anyway. And to me, that is just the ultimate courageous act. So I had that in my head, and Gary went with it, and I was sort of wrote to the title as one does in Nashville. And we talk about this. It's a thing there. So this is called "When Nobody's Watching." Don't we all want to know where we go when we die? Is it just dust to dust or a home in the sky? Does it make a difference how we live our lives? Does it matter? Can anybody say, is there a way to do it right? Do we live for tomorrow or just make it through the night? When do we surrender? When do we fight for something better? When nobody's listening, what do you want to say? What thoughts are you thinking in the quiet of the day? And who you want to be when nobody's watching? 'Cause it's hard to see clear through the fear in our hearts. Is it how we live in spite of it that shows us who we are? The choices that we make, stumble in the dark for the light switch. When nobody's listening, what do you want to say? What thoughts are you thinking in the quiet of the day? Who do you want to be when nobody's watching? Yeah. Thanks. I like that one too. This next one is it's sort of I guess like my parents are both nomadic and they both travel all the time, and I grew up that way. And even though we kind of largely stayed in one place at our mom's house for most of my early childhood, you know, we'd go to my dad's every weekend or almost every weekend, and we would travel in the summers, and so I really felt like change was the main constant in my life, and that has continued to be the case, really. But in a way, I'm really grateful for that because it taught me how to like center myself wherever I am, which I think is a very useful skill, especially right now in these changing, turbulent times. Seems like pivot is the catchphrase going around. So you learn how to pivot, but you learn how to like, you can pivot, but always keep, you know, the center of the axle in place. You know what I mean? It could swivel like a TV, but like it's rooted somewhere. So I think that's a thing I am learning and have learned and continue to learn. But anyway, my mom has been on tour with us, and she was in Atlanta, Georgia for a lot of my childhood. My dad was in rural Alabama, and we lived in both of those places at the same time, in really different parts of the South. So this is a song I wrote sort of about that experience called Drop Another Pin. And there were some years we were like mainly in Atlanta, and other years we were mainly in Alabama, but really in both places, you know. Walk with me to the Citgo, where the Dairy Queen behind the railroad tracks, big mulberries off a tree. I've known more than red throat, and I'm always just some new kid in the class, braces and big feet. Packing up another childhood home, watching my grandparents get old. Dropping on the map, the wheels of the world, the second hand all spin. Drop another pin. Try to take it like a photograph, like a blood graph, like a good look, take it on in. Drop another pin. 4 years in Minnesotan, make a few friends, hide in the library stacks, talk big in small town. Bus then playing Yellowstone, waiting tables, sending postcards back. Gotta get lost to be found. Front of a graduation cat, faces in a yearbook staring back. Dropping on the map, the wheels of the world, the second hand all spin. Drop another pin. Oh, gotta take it like a photograph, like a well-worn out, like a good look, take it on in. Drop another pin. Yeah, you are here. This spot, this year, this minute ticking down. Can't hear it like a heartbeat. Can't feel it underneath your feet right now. It's all we have. All we have is right now.
Songwriter, but there's always a new tune.
There's always another one. Yeah.
Is it recent?
No. I put it out as a single in 2020, but it's an older song. I wrote it years ago.
I was trying to determine when it was written based on, did we ever say drop a pin before there were Google Maps, or like before there were, a phone map?
I think that was a Google Maps thing.
Yeah. Right? I mean, there were the cute maps that you can put an actual push pin in to show where you visited, but I don't think there was a drop.
You could in fact do that. Yes. Not as easily in a car, in a moving vehicle, maybe not.
Yeah, right.
Aye, what to play? Well, I was raised Catholic as well. And it's not something that I continued to keep in my life as a source of what is it? A source of life, yes, or safety, or moral building, or I don't know. It's not something that I engage with regularly now as an adult. But I was raised in the church, and my mother was. I feel like she made us quite resilient to the difficult things about church, and like little sponges to pick up some of the better things. And of course, everything, especially every institution, has its complications. But I do notice that while there was a lot of things I was able to overlook, or things that I decided, that doesn't really fit with how I feel about the world. The shame, that one stuck pretty good. That stuck pretty good. They got me. Well, I got divorced, I don't know, 7 years ago now, and it was pretty difficult for me. And not because I was ashamed, because I was Catholic, but just it's very hard to pivot. Wasn't expecting it, and I was fairly committed to that as my life. And afterward, I found myself feeling really, really, really sad, but also angry. And that's where the shame came in, that I wasn't allowed to feel angry. That to be a good person, one must let go and forgive and see the best in someone, no matter what. And I had to kind of push through all of that. I released this whole album of songs where it's like, oh, it's okay. I'm a human. It's okay to feel angry and to say it out loud. And there's like all these other people around the world trying to pretend that they're not angry or hurt because it's a bad emotion, right? Yeah, and so that maybe there's a reason to sing those songs, that it's something good to put out in the world. And well, anyway, I think I sing this. It's a song I wrote, and missing my kid and worrying about her. I had a stepdaughter, by the way, sorry, for clarifying. I can't breathe, I can't eat, I can't keep this heart beating. I'm a warrior, I'm a wreck, I can't remember happy, but I can't forget, and I would do anything, but there's nothing I can do, so I lace my fingers, and I pray for you. I pray, I pray to no one in particular, that they help you find your way. I pray, I pray that you safe. Yes, at the start of every day I pray. My hands are tied, my eyes are bleeding, my mind stays up all night, solving puzzles on the ceiling. Should I fight harder? Did I let you down? I can feel you slipping away. I can feel myself drown. I would do anything. There is nothing I can do, and so I lace my fingers and I pray for you. I pray. I pray to no one in particular, that they help you find your way. I pray. I pray. I I pray to no one in particular, as they help you find your way. I pray. I pray that my love will keep you safe, my darling, each and every day. Thanks. Seems applicable to a lot of different situations once I wrote it. Praying's a good thing to do, no matter who or what you're praying to. When my stepdaughter was little, I have this very clear memory of her and her friends at like age 6 singing along to this next song that I had written as I watched all of our friends' marriages crumble. and I had, and my own stepdaughter and some of her friends too had been part of like custody battles between parents, and I was just looking at this. What a disaster! Why can't we figure out human relationships? They're real hard. You think you want to get married, you say you're ready for babies, sweet babies, and your love will last for eternity. Well, it won't. Probably not. I can't promise a lot. That was a really important laugh. Like, it would have been dumb if no one was here to laugh. The statistics say even if you're gay, happy marriages rarely stay that way. Gay marriages weren't even legal when I wrote that. In a year or 6, you'll fight the way your parents did. You'll wake the neighbors, you'll scare yourselves, you'll scare the kids. You thought it'd be easy, but all it does just drives you crazy. So pull it apart, no more talks from the heart. You're both on your own in a family home. Secret texts to your lovers You're ready for court over family court. You'll fight to the death for the children and the furniture. And then, in the end, your darling children, they'll be grown adults, working all this out with a therapist they can't live without. How many dreams have you had about a big white dress? The prince and princess make their way through the crowds. How many fairy tale endings have you read before bed? How do you dance in your head as he spins you around? And so I hope you're ready to marry, and I hope for the sake of the babies, sweet babies, you'll learn to walk on your own 2 feet before you leap. Try living together for a year or 2, maybe 3 or 4 before you go and get married.
It's a dangerous world out there, man.
Yeah.
That was, you can play now, but it was only 2 songs.
Was that only 2 songs? Oh, sorry.
We can
I wasn't
switch
really
it up.
counting.
It's okay.
No, play another one.
It's alright. It's good to switch things up.
Not yet, though. Yeah, exactly 3.5 minutes.
Yes, exactly 3.5. That's how I like to write my songs.
Right.
It's,
With a stopwatch in your hand.
yeah, usually that's how it goes, yes. Oh, it's a big thing to marry a person, and I don't think we're really prepared for it. No, no one is. It doesn't really matter. Often it's like based on luck. Like you're a young person and you think, wow, I really like this person at this very moment and I probably will forever. And then you get in and you're like, whoa, forever is a very long time. Will I keep liking them? Questionable. No, just trying to, I feel like there needs to be more education for young people about what to expect, about this idea of like a fairy tale is that it's normal for that to like fall away after a few years because you're just living with someone every day. That it's like it's a relationship you really can't compare with anything else. That you're supposed to somehow manage being romantic and familial with the same person. Like where you spend your entire life being like, that's my brother. I don't feel romantic about him. That is my, you have these relationships with family members that are presumably, hopefully, consistent and non-sexual. Yeah. But then they'll like throw you in the pot with one other person and say like, good luck, stay in love forever, have lots of babies, don't hate one another. What a disaster. Ugh. And it also just has you have the potential to like really destroy people with it, because what we've known before that is family relationships. Hopefully we've had a parent or a parent figure in our life that consistently loved us unconditionally, and that helped us learn how to love ourselves and be in the world. And then we're relying on our partner to do that, but it's not really permanent. It's a pretend permanent in which you can exit if you need to, and that's a big heavy weight. We have to be careful with one another and how we separate ourselves or come together. It's a very big decision. Anyways, okay, that's enough. I'll get off my marriage pulpit. I'm gonna play a song. You're scared of getting stuck, scared to be alone. You're scared of your own history, and now you're scared of all my songs. just like the one in mine. And I remember you smiling, remember all the time. Oh, we'll still grow old, not side by side, but on our own. I cannot say I trust you, and I don't wanna be your friend, but I think I see your goodness again. Your love is unsurpassed. It burns bright and it burns fast. It's not the kind of love you can count on, but it's stunning while it lasts. You're driven by the impulse, it never lets you rest. And I know you didn't mean to hurt me, you just did what you do best. Oh, we'll still grow, not side by side, but on our own. I cannot say I trust you, and I don't wanna be your friend, but I think I see your goodness again. Oh, sparkly eyes in a crowded room. I still think of you in the springtime when your favorite flowers bloom. When your favorite flowers bloom, you stepped out of the car for the rabbit in the road. I couldn't bear to watch him suffer, lying mangled in the snow, with your hands around his neck. You spared his misery. How swift you gave that rabbit what you couldn't give to me. Oh, we'll still grow, not side by side, but on our own. I cannot say I trust you, and I don't wanna be your friend, but I think I see your goodness again.
Thanks.
I just remembering, sometimes when you sing songs, do you remember when you wrote them, like the moments that you wrote them? I always feel like there's some, that the audience doesn't know about this like weird film that's playing in my head. Both of the things that I'm writing about, but I just remembered saying, it took me a really long time to write that song, and I was like determined to write something about forgiveness, and I like had my notebook, and I was like, write all the nice things you can think of your ex-wife, and it was like, she liked flowers? I was like trying really hard to make a list. And that one time she killed a rabbit. Anyway, it turned into a song. But for the longest time I was singing the chorus like, whoa, whoa, and just like, you know. And it's not the most profound line of the song, but I remember sitting at the kitchen table and saying, oh, we'll still grow old, and then just like losing it on my kitchen table. I'm like, I'm gonna get old alone.
That was the line that really, that's the line that gets me when I hear the song. It's just pretty rough.
Yes, it is. It's nice though to know that we have this great
tool of dealing with shit.
Yes.
Sit down at your table.
I find it really difficult sometimes when it, we've even talked about this before, but like when it involves other people as characters in your songs, and especially people that are very real in my life, aren't like fictional characters, but like people that are in my life, you know? Because I feel like as a songwriter, you sort of have this like permeable boundary around yourself all the time, and it's very difficult. You have to keep it open enough to be sensitive to the world enough to like write and make art and be that lightning rod and like turn things into beauty and ground them in a healthy way. But like also you have to know when to firm it up and protect yourself too, because you face so much shit. And the world is a rough place, it's a cruel place, and it can be hard to be alive some days. So you have to also be able to like protect your heart too, and like keep the barrier up when it needs to be up. And it's like a challenge for me. And then when it comes to other people, you know, I feel like it's not really fair, because it's like I have a microphone and they don't. And there's of course two sides to everything. And you know, it's like I have written a lot of angry songs that I then never play. You know, it just feels like. And then you have this really amazing way of sort of like balancing all of that and speaking your own truth, but in a way that's kind and fair and doesn't feel like you're just, you know, shitting on other people. You know what I mean?
Well, that's nice that you say that, but I think it's true that probably the people that I'm writing songs about don't like the songs, even when I've tried my hardest to make them
They're very
like
tempered,
balanced.
though. I will say, like, you could be a lot meaner if you wanted to be. Like, you know, you have the verbal prowess, and you could rip someone to shreds if you wanted to. And all of your songs are tempered with kindness and, you know, and sort of generosity, I guess is the word. And I think like I struggle with that. It's tough for me to like. I'm also another thing that's different about our songs. I feel like we're fascinated by the differences between us, and this has been like a study we've been making throughout this tour. But like, I feel like your songs are so complex. They're like, I was telling my mom, it's like a modeled ship or something. It's just like intricate and like very detailed, and like here's the tiny lifeboat and here's the little rope and like all the tiny little, like everything is just so detailed and intricate and like perfectly crafted. And my stuff is like, sometimes can be very simple, and they usually are about 3.5 minutes, and it's like usually just 3.5 chords, you know, and that's like, I like writing that way. But one of the sort of effects of that is like if I have a complicated feeling about somebody, and it's maybe like 4 different emotions at once, I'll only put like maybe 2 of them in one song at a time, and I'll save the other ones for like another song. And so then I just have like 7 songs about the same experience, but they're like different facets of it. You know what I mean? And if I played any one of them on their own, it might be like really brutal. You know what I mean? Because there's one about betrayal, and maybe there's one about anger, and then there's another one about missing somebody, and another one about forgiveness, and like, so they're all, and they might have like bits and pieces of the other emotions, but they're all pretty clear, like just about that one kind of part of it. I just sort of hyper focus on like one minute part of the experience. So I struggle with that because I struggle with presenting like just maybe one of the songs in and of itself that's just angry for the sake of being angry, you know?
Right. I mean, well, like I was speaking about shame. Do you feel like that? Is that same?
I do think there's some shame involved, and there's also, but I think too, like, you know, if the best songs I ever wrote nobody ever hears, but I still like feel okay about myself at the end of my life, and you know, then I'm alright with that.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, that's
so.
It's a hard choice for sure.
But it's still some, you know, I kind of oscillate on it. But
Right.
Yeah.
I will say, when we're talking about our differences too, I think that you're also much more musically adventurous. Sometimes I feel like I'm like, well, I'll just stick with these 3 chords and this strumming pattern, and just like.
Oh, really? I feel like I'm so like simple with my chords, but that's fine. Yeah.
Okay. Well.
Maybe we both feel that way about ourselves.
Yes, I think so.
But
that's the way it is. Well, I really like listening to your songs.
I think your melodies are very interesting, actually.
Thank you.
Yeah. Anywho, sorry, are you guys still here? All right, I'm gonna do I'm gonna do one I wasn't thinking about doing, but I think I'm gonna do it. Yeah. This is sort of like a Jesus song. I have a few of these, and it is Sunday, so.
You didn't go to mass.
And I didn't go to mass today, so. But we are raising money for a good cause. Hopefully Jesus will understand. And you guys, if you feel like making a donation to womenforafghanwomen.org, that would be great. Please do that. You can give either using one of those links above or through the tip jar below, and all that money will go to the same place. I've taken lovers, taken cover, I've taken others for a ride, taken encores, taken hard words, taken wrong turns, and turned me right. May I know your face better than my own, better than this song, better than this road, even as I am fully known. May I know your face better than my taking chances and sideways glances, I've taken a stand and I just stood by. Taking a long time, taking a hard line, taking the wrong kind of good advice. May I know your face better than my own, better than the song, better than this road, even as I am fully known. May I know your face better than my own. May I know your face better than my own, better than this song, better than this road, even as I am fully known. May I know your face better than my own. Nice. Is that two or one? One or two?
This one.
This
And
one.
yeah, I love it. It's very like you did a very good job of like it sounds like it's an old hymn. That's
Yeah, it sounds like the songs, gospel songs I grew up.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll make this a little short Jesus set since it's Sunday.
Why not?
Why not? Here we
Yes.
are. All right. I've got this song. Yeah. Okay. Hopefully I remember all the lyrics. I don't play the Jesus songs too often because I play in a lot of bars. You know.
I mean, Jesus is there too,
Jesus
right?
is there too, but you know, some people don't want him there. They just want to like drink their drink. You know. So I like to respect that. Anyway, but this is a Jesus song for you. It's called Calvary, and yeah. This also sounds like a lot of the songs I grew up hearing when in the mountains, you know? I am a robin redbreast. Day and night I do fly over David's city. I saw my Savior. Oh, I heard when he said, my God, why hast thou forsaken me? On Calvary, sang a mournful song, tenderly and sweet. On Calvary, this my Savior's words, no little bird could ever sing. I am the first blush of a red rose, and I wind along the walls of David's city. They cut my thorns down for to fashion a crown, wind around, pierce his brow, make him bleed. On Calvary, shoot, okay. This little rose was made to lay wicked deep. On Calvary, more cruel a crown was never worn by any king. Am an apple tree, and I grew above the hills of David's city. They cut my branches off for to fashion a cross, and upon my arms they nailed his hands and feet. On Calvary, Thank you. I know you're clapping out there in internet land. I just realized, like, when I kind of lost myself doing that, and my mom was like tapping on the window out there, and then she went around and she went for a walk earlier while we were doing this show. Let's see if she's back there. Are you back there, Mom? Oh, I hear her. Okay, maybe she's out the front door. Let her back in. She got locked out of the venue. But I'm gonna play one more song. Michelle's letting her back in. Okay, one more Jesus song. Which one? Let me do this. I'm gonna try to remember this one too. Keep me close, send me far, hallowed halls, dingy bars. I ain't afraid of any kind of road. Say it plain, be obtuse. I don't even need to see my shoes. I ain't afraid of any kind of road. 'Cause I learned these chords a while ago. I forgot to play them. I heard these words a while ago. I forgot to say them. Have mercy on me. Have mercy. Hold my hand, slap my wrist, help me take the things you give. I ain't afraid of any kind of road. Be my light, be my dark, pull me in, break my heart. I ain't afraid. 'Cause I learned these chords a while ago. But I need your help to play on. I heard these words a while ago. Lord, help me to say them. Have mercy on me. Have mercy. Shadow valleys, pastures green, down the side of quiet stream. I ain't afraid of any kind of road. Send the flood and the hurricane. I know your voice. I call your name. I ain't afraid of any kind of road. 'Cause I learned these chords a while ago. I forgot to play them. I heard these words a while ago. And I just forgot to say them. Have mercy on me. Have mercy on me. Have mercy on me. Have mercy.
Feels weird clapping after Jesus song.
Yeah, I think that's
Like this. Yeah.
that's
Feels like you're supposed to have a moment of silence.
like you're not supposed to
instead of
clap in church.
Yeah, you're supposed to clap.
I know, it's weird. I think clapping's good.
I love applause.
I like it. You're saying all these, and I'm thinking about my. So my dad was from Southern Ontario, and my grandparents. He was raised by a father who had they had a cute family band. And the thing about Southern Ontario is like, I don't know that Ontario, so it's Ontario. What do we even call them? Ontarians. Okay, I don't know if they would consider themselves this way, but I feel like it's kind of like Texas of Canada, or it's like the south of Canada. And a lot of Canada is full of like farmlands and prairies and whatnot. So my grandpa was a cowboy through like most of his life, but in Canada, which is like not what we learn about Canada. And he used to sing a lot of, not obviously he wrote those songs, but I could it feels very familiar though, like the form of like a gospel song. It feels cozy and good.
Oh, good.
I was trying to think if I had any Jesus songs.
You don't have to play.
I know I don't have to, but I was trying to think of a favorite, and what I thought was this good Woody Guthrie song.
It's just like last night when I was like, do you want a drink? And she's like, I just don't know. I was like, you don't have to have a drink. You don't want one. Don't peer pressure up here.
Just peer pressuring me into Jesus. It's kind of it's in fashion to do such a thing, but on stage grace freely. No, I'm gonna. So anyway, yes, I was raised in the church, but also my mom was very clear that this is a spiritual foundation I want you to have. I want you to be good neighbors and friends and be loving. And this is what I know. So I'm gonna bring you to church, and you listen to what they say, and you think about it, and you feel out how it feels. And in the end, if you don't want to get confirmed, if you don't want to keep going to church, you don't have to. So in the end, none of us did. She's okay with that because there was always this very strong emphasis on the point is love your neighbor, and everything else that comes your way, everything else they try and teach you, hold it up against that. If it doesn't hold, you can let it go. That's all I care about. Love your neighbor. And so the way that church really showed up in our lives was a lot about social justice and specifically addressing. My brother works and lives in a Catholic worker community, which is the idea was founded by Dorothy Day, and it's based around Catholic principles. Although these days you do not have to be Catholic to participate, but what happens is volunteers will collectively own homes or properties of some kind that they are places for hospitality for people who are experiencing homelessness. So there's free meals you can get, and there are places for you to stay until you can get to your next step. There's a lot of training people, helping people try and get their first jobs, and how to get your apartment, and how to get your life in order. But also a really big part of it is that it's not just a charity. It's a group of people that are actively working to address the policies that are making it such that people are experiencing homelessness. So a lot of advocacy locally and beyond. So my brother joined this when he was 18, and I was a 10-year-old, and then he's been there ever since, and it's been a really big part of my life. So the ways now in which the idea of God and the story of Jesus have a place in my life are very much about giving and making sure that others are taken care of. So I'm going to sing you a Woody Guthrie song about Jesus, okay? If I can remember how it goes. Jesus was a man who traveled through land, hard working man and brave. He said to the rich, give your goods to the poor. So they laid Jesus Christ in his grave. Jesus was a man, the carpenter by hand. Followers were true and brave, but the cops and legislators called them dangerous agitators. So they laid Jesus Christ in his grave. He went to the preacher, he went to the sheriff, and told them all the same. Sell your jewelry and give it to the poor. So they laid Jesus Christ in his grave. Jesus was a man, a carpenter by hand. His followers were true and brave, but the cops and legislators called them dangerous agitators, and so they laid Jesus Christ in his grave. This song was written in New York City. Preachers, freemen, and slaves. Yes, if Jesus preached today like he did in Galilee, they would lay Jesus Christ in his grave. Jesus was a man carpeted by him. His followers were true and brave. But the cops and legislators called them dangerous agitators, so they laid Jesus Christ in his grave.
Yeah. Good. It's church. Church feels like church. Yeah. It's great.
Okay, I'll sing my other church song.
Okay.
Okay. So then I'm gay. I'm just working on my transitions here, sorry. Yeah, segue, yes, I'm gay. And I'm gay, and I came out, this family was like quite a liberal bubble that I was raised in, and my mom really, when I came out to her, she didn't throw me a coming out party, okay? She did not join PKE flags. She did not suddenly start wearing rainbow flags everywhere. She was very quiet about just being like, okay, sounds good. Which wasn't frankly enough for me as a teenager. I felt like she should have done more. But I wrote the song being close to a number of people who had very opposite experiences with their families, and specifically families where faith was really important to them, and processing what it meant to be okay with same-sex relationships and still follow a religion at the same time. That both of those things could happen was very hard on lots of those families, and in so doing, it was very hard on their children. And I feel like I have a lot of friends who there's nothing quite like being rejected by your parent in that way, like the kind of existential doubt you're left with when a parent says, I think there's something wrong with you, or I'm worried you're going to go to hell, or there's a lot of power in a parent's words. So anyway, I think there's a place for them both to exist, faith of any kind, and also loving relationships of any kind. Holy are we, with our hand on my knee, and unyielding reverie. Blessed her lips, and the turn of her wrists. Try and tempt me, I will not resist. Oh, if my greatest sin is to love her well, you can send me there. Patience and prayer, with her hand in my hair, fears relieved, burdens shared. Oh, if my greatest sin is to love her well, you can send me holding my breath with her hand at my breast. We are sacred and nothing less. Oh, if my greatest sin is to love her well, you can send me the hell. Send me the hell for loving well.
Thanks. Okay, I'll play this one.
I think I've gotten better at playing a song. This is a brand new song. I've only played it 3 times in front of people, and you've heard all 3 of them. And I'm gonna play it again, the pandemic song. Every time it gets a little easier, you know. It becomes my own a little more. Here we are. Happy pandemic. Disaster strikes, and I am merely mortal once again. Nothing more, nothing less than a friend and a lover or die, some kind of mother. And I am not in control. I never was, but even so. So lay down your weapons, your conveniences. Abandon all your plans. There's no going back to the way things used to be, but that's alright with me. Let it all come crashing down. It wasn't working anyhow. We could build something new from the rubble of the old. We are capable of more than we've been told. But for a moment, weren't we equal, standing on the shaky ground? It felt like money turned to paper, and all the kings had lost their crowns, and the whole world stood still, singing from their windowsills. But it was brief, a great delusion. There are mountains in between. Almost got it. But it was brief, a great delusion. There are mountains in between. The royals hiding in their palace, the middle classes cushioning, and the ones begging our groceries, working subway cars and factories, with their jobs at stake, and the rent is late, and the daycare shut its doors. So let it all come crashing down. It wasn't working so well it hides in plain sight, like some kind of birthright. So say a prayer, bake some bread, tuck the children into bed. Thank the Lord for your good fortune, and then get to work instead. Toward a world where every human gets to thank the good Lord too. And let it all come crashing down. It wasn't working anyhow. We could build something new from the rubble of the old. We are capable of more than told. Hey, thanks for these harmonies.
Our paparazzi, aka my mom's over here taking pictures, and she's so cute, and she like winced because the camera made a noise. It's really cute.
No one heard it. I didn't hear it. Did you hear it?
I didn't hear it. Is it my turn?
It's your turn.
Okay, cool. I can't ever. I just get lost in like what's happening, and then
I understand. I understand.
Okay. Well, that song, because it had the word birthright in it, it made me want to do this Nobody's Girl song called Birthright.
Yeah.
It's on our new record, which just came out in July, and we're very proud of it, and hopefully we'll be able to tour more soon. So get vaccinated out there, and wear your masks, and don't be a dick. And hopefully we'll be able to play more Nobody's Girl shows soon. But this is a song called Birthright that I wrote with Rachael Kilgour from my band. Number one mom, handing out water on the sidelines to the team. Right there, standing in the bleachers when they crowned my sister queen. Right there, in every photo I've ever seen. Number one mom for her new family, but left me when I was 3. What do you do? What do you do? That my dad put his father's front star and keeps on the nightstand. But most of what his daddy gave him was the back of his hand. He was a war hero and a real fair boss and a church going man. The bruises fade, but it never stops hurting. Where the punches land. What do you do? where they were from that tried to erase their names. And my family still lives on the land we bought with blood and pain. When our kids start asking, what do we tell them? How do we explain that right beneath the surface you just started to scratch those answers to questions you don't know how to ask yourself? How do you carry what you can't get back? Or inherit after you die? What do you do? What do you do? Yeah, those ladies.
It's so the way we've changed like conversation around trauma and how it's passed on.
Right.
It's been a good time for that, and I mean,
Yeah, it's really,
within our
in
lifetime,
a
I
couple
think.
decades, it's really hugely come a long way. Yeah. I have another song I want to try if I can find the lyrics. Maybe not.
I can make them up for you if you want.
Cool. Let's see. This thing won't load. Dang it. Trying to get it to work. Maybe it's not gonna happen. What's with that? I really want me to do it. Let's see. Maybe it's in my notes. It might not be in my box. Oh, it might be in my notes app. I feel like doing it if I can do it. So let's see. I'm not seeing it. Oh. Nope. Okay. I don't have the lyrics in here. Sorry. I just really wanted to do it, but I don't know if I can find it. So we'll just do something else. Oh well. Okay. I'll try to find those lyrics later. Hopefully they exist somewhere. Alright, we'll do this one instead. I wrote this with my friend Rachael Kilgour, and it's called The Alley of Love and Reason, and I wrote it about Lubbock, Texas, where he's from. It's a fun one. We wrote it in Lubbock, actually. Through the door. Still thinking about that other song. Through the hole in the chain link out the back door, between the bar and the corner store, in the middle of it all, outside of time. Left our parents to their conversations. Punk cassettes made the rotations. Birthdays freedom on my mind. Well, the mad world marched on, and the center old and strong. Down the alley of love and reason, we burn cigarettes and watch the seasons turn around. Standing in the darkest and brightest spot in town. We would take it outside with fights get paid. bleeding knuckles and busted lips, but it all comes out in the open for them angry boys. And me and my sister digging through the dumpster, one man's trash, another kid's treasure, dirty magazines and broken toys. Now even the ghosts have all moved on, but the center is old and strong. Down the alley of love and reason, people coming, people leaving by on the ground. Stand in the darkest and the brightest spot in town. Down the alley of love and reason, we burn cigarettes and watch the seasons turn around. Down the alley of love and reason, people coming, people leaving. Down the alley of love and reason, standing in the darkest and the brightest spot in town. Thanks. Is this my last song? Or did
I
we?
think it could be the last song.
Could be the last song. Okay, alright. Have we been going that long? I guess we have. Well then. Okay, I guess I'll do just let me tune up real quick. Thank you guys so much for tuning in today. I do these Patreon webcasts every month and on varying days whenever I can find the time really. And they're free if you are a patron at patreon.com/GracePettis. But even if you are getting the show for free, if you would consider throwing a few bucks in the bucket here for womenforafghanwomen.org, we would sure appreciate that. You can make a donation at paypal.me/womenforafghanwomen. And we also have some tip jar links at the bottom. All of the money from those tip jars on Venmo and PayPal will go to the cause. And if you are not a Patreon patron and you paid $5 for a ticket to watch this show, that money is going there as well. So thank you so much for that donation. You can find Rachael Kilgour on the interwebs. That's RACHAELKILGOUR. Is it .com?
Yeah.
.com. You can check her out. She's got a bunch of new songs, and she's about to go in the studio and make a new record that's funded by a grant from the state of Minnesota. And if you want to be in the know, you should sign up for her mailing list on her website. Check that out. Thank you so much for being here, Rachael, and for donating to the cause.
Yes, thank you for having me.
And thank you for tuning in and listening. Thanks for being a part of this sort of impromptu and nebulous set of songs that we definitely wrote down ahead of time and planned for every single one. Very organized. And I'm going to play one more for you, and have a wonderful Sunday. Do something nice for somebody. This song is called Mean Something. All the hype and shame wants to sell you pain, dripping. Jesus, how we're trying to beat out living. Use your money, make the world go round. This fight, this time who's winning? I'm laying here staring at the ceiling. Wanna play, wanna say something I believe in. Wanna bottle that fire, but I think they get this right. Make a rhyme, make a reason. Every time I'm singing, find a line I can lean into. And make it mean something, make it mean something. Every time I'm singing, find a line I can lean into. Make it mean something, something, something. never die in the ashtray will not only whiskey for the lonely heartbreak, coffee for the headache, playing and can't win for the losing. Never really feels like a thing I'm choosing. Mistakes and lucky breaks in good measure, composing music. Every time I'm singing, I'm like a minute. Gotta make it mean something. Gotta make it mean something. Every time I'm singing, I'm like a minute to make it mean something, something, something true, something true. 'Cause life is what you make it. So I don't have to take it as it comes. I can hide a good one. Make a rhyme, make a reason. Every time I'm singing, find a line I can breathe into. And make it mean something. Make it mean something. Every time I'm singing, there's a lifeline I'm clinging to. Something true. Okay. Thanks, Mom.
That's so good. That's such a good closer.
Thank you. Oh, I thought you meant just her applauding. That's a good.
Oh, that feels good too.
All right. Thanks, everybody. Have a great afternoon.
Yes, thank you. So good to be here.
Or evening. Have a great evening.